Good evening and welcome to another episode of iMed, a program where we discuss on diseases, ailments and cures. And especially with the ongoing global pandemic, COVID-19, there are some diseases that have been gone unnoticed or not been have been overshadowed by the ongoing pandemic, especially diseases like dengue, which has been hovering in our country or Sri Lanka for many years. It's taken many lives. It has also created many problems in many livelihoods. Well, what is dengue? How does dengue occur? Can a person contract dengue by associating another person? These are all matters that we need to discuss today on our episode of iMed. And to do that, I have with me the medical officer of the National Dengue Contracted Unit, Dr. N. Arif, joining me for this discussion. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Kaushala.
Well, obviously, with the ongoing pandemic, everybody is talking about COVID. But then, dengue is also a very a disease that can take lives of human beings. But let's start this thing off saying, what exactly is dengue?
Dengue is an infectious disease. We have heard so many infectious diseases, communicable diseases. I would say this dengue is a killer disease. Usually we used to call it as a killer disease because there is a reason. If properly not monitored, within a short period it can kill a person. That's why we call it as a killer disease. It is one infectious disease which is caused by another virus. Now we are in
we all talk about virus.
Yes. So it is also another disease caused by virus. This virus belongs to Flaviviridae family. When we broadly say as a group of viruses, there are many families inside. And there is one family, Flaviviridae. It has many viruses there. Each viruses cause certain diseases. So these Flaviviridae family causes some other diseases. I can name some diseases. There are yellow fever and tick-borne encephalitis, Japanese bee encephalitis, and West Nile disease. Why not? Few weeks back we heard one disease from India, Kerala state, Zika disease. Zika disease also caused by virus which belongs to this Flaviviridae family. So this is dengue is also caused by virus which belongs to Flaviviridae. Actually, this dengue virus, even though it is an old disease, officially described by Benjamin Rush in 1780. That time he had named this disease as breakbone disease. Breakbone disease, because that time the patients had severe intolerable body pain and joints pain. So he according that he had named that disease at that time as breakbone disease. Later it was called as dengue. Then this disease now at the moment in many countries persists in endemic level.
Doctor, just to interrupt you now, when you say disease in countries, is it more subjected to the Asian countries, or is it also in the westernized countries?
Yeah, it is a good question, because this disease noted in tropical and subtropical climate regions or countries. We know that our countries also belongs to tropical countries. So these are the climate suits for these mosquitoes mainly. We can tell something about the mosquito. This is also interesting matter, because then I can tell something, because whenever we talk regarding dengue disease, we used to talk about mosquito.
Yes.
So people think that dengue disease is caused by mosquito. It is reasonable, but actually it is caused by a virus. But these mosquito doing job here. So, we will
he's
discuss
he's the
that.
transmitter from
Yeah, I
a
will
patient.
tell. We can discuss this. So, this mosquito suits the climate, tropical and subtropical climate suits for these mosquitoes habitats, living patterns. So, thereby dengue disease prevails in tropical and subtropical countries or regions. So, since then these in many countries, I think more than 100 countries in the world now, it is existing in endemic level. Then people can ask what is endemic level, then I can tell that endemic we call it because the disease cannot be brought to zero level, it will not come to zero level, it will be reduced to a low level, and in that low level it will persist, at times the number of cases may suddenly go up. So, that time we call it outbreak or epidemic. So, that is why we heard there is a dengue outbreak now, dengue outbreak now we call it, but all over the country, in our country, also in more than 100 countries in the world, the dengue disease persists in a endemic state. At times they get outbreaks also. So, this is the dengue killer disease. So, as you said earlier, because of this pandemic COVID-19, people sometimes may forget other important diseases, mainly dengue disease, because we had met many deaths, we have lost many valuable lives because of this dengue. So, people can't forget amidst this pandemic COVID-19, we can't forget about dengue also.
So, so you were talking about a mosquito aboutly. So, it's basically the main grassroots level is all about a mosquito bringing in this disease. And then, how does this mosquito breed?
Yeah,
and
because
what is there a specific name for this mosquito?
Yes, of course. Yeah, in our country, I think more than 100 types of mosquitoes available in our country. Not all the mosquitoes transmit or carry all the causative agents or all the microorganisms from person to person. Particular type of mosquito transmit a particular type of disease. For example, I will say that recently we have eliminated malaria. Now, our country has eliminated malaria. The causative organism is Plasmodium. So, to spread that disease or that Plasmodium has to go from one infected person to another person. It can't go straight away, no direct transmission. So, it should be transmitted by mosquito. There, Anopheles type of mosquito will carry these Plasmodium microorganisms, not other type of mosquitoes. Same like we may have forgotten one another illness in at the moment in some areas still there are Elephantiasis. It is caused by Wuchereria. So, that microorganism will be transmitted from person to person by Culex type of mosquitoes.
Right.
So, same like that here in dengue, these dengue viruses will be transmitted from one infected person to another person by Idis type of mosquitoes. Idis type of mosquitoes. Then Idis type of mosquitoes, there are subtypes also. Idis aegypti and Idis albopictus. There are two subtypes of mosquitoes which are responsible to transmit these dengue viruses from person to person. With naked eye, we can identify these Idis mosquitoes because it has white color. It is black or brownish color mosquitoes. It will it has white color markings on the body and legs.
Right.
We can easily we can identify these type of mosquitoes, whether this is Idis type of mosquito or not. We can identify easily with a naked eye. I can show one photo.
Yes, I think we can.
Yeah, you can see here the body and the legs. The limbs has white markings, white stripes. So, with naked eye we can identify the Aedes mosquitoes. So, these Aedes mosquitoes, they transmit not only dengue viruses, there are some other diseases also these Aedes mosquitoes transmit. We have heard yellow fever.
Yes, yellow fever.
You can remember one, there was one infectious disease in the some time ago, chikungunya.
Yes.
One was a dangerous disease, chikungunya, and also recently we heard, as I said earlier, Zika disease. So, these disease, the causative organisms are transmitted by the same Aedes type of mosquitoes also. These Aedes type mosquitoes, as I said earlier, there are two subtypes, Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. In general, these Aedes aegypti, we call it indo mosquitoes, because they rest in inside the houses. And this Aedes albopictus, we call it outdoor mosquitoes, because their habitat usually outside the house, in a garden area like that. So, that is why we call Aedes aegypti indoor mosquito and Aedes albopictus as outdoor mosquitoes. They used to breed in, their habitat will be in stagnated water, stagnating water. It does not mean that inside the water it will breed. What these mosquito will do is, when there is water pooled or stagnated or collected in a container like area, we can see the edge of the water surfaces on the surface of the container. The edge just above the water level, there will be wet area. In this wet area, these mosquito will go and sit and lay eggs. There are some features for these eggs. These are important to know about regarding when we discuss about these control measures. These eggs are sticky, they can stick to the surface. Even drought condition, even with desiccation, the eggs stick to the surface. Even for months it will survive there, it will remains there. Unfortunately, if there is dengue virus inside the eggs, we can talk something about that, or otherwise I will tell.
Yes.
When a mosquito infects with the dengue virus, during its whole life, whenever it lay eggs, the dengue virus will be passed into those eggs. So, from this mosquito, usually these mosquito, their lifespan is average 1 month, 4 weeks.
Right.
So, all these during these 4 weeks lifespan, 3 to 4 times they will lay eggs.
Right.
One time around 100 to 200 eggs will be laid down. So, all these eggs will have dengue viruses. So, it is one dangerous situation. So, these eggs stick to that surfaces. Then after some time, because of due to raining or by any means, when we put water into that containers, then when water inundates those eggs, then it will start to hatch. It will take around 7 to 10 days to become adult mosquito. The eggs will hatched into larva, then pupae, then adult mosquito. It will take around 7 to 10 days. That is why we notice that once raining started, maybe say after 1 week or 10 days, we can notice that several mosquitoes suddenly flying around us. This is the main reason.
Right.
Already the eggs laid on or stick to the surfaces. Right. Then because of the raining, now water filled in those containers. Then now after that these eggs started to hatch, then mosquito produce. That is why we notice when raining started, after few days we notice sudden increasing of mosquitoes around us.
With the wet conditions coming.
Yes, yes.
Doctor, but there is also a myth saying that the dengue mosquito or the mosquito that is contracted with this virus bites during the daytime. Is this a correct thing?
Yeah, we used to call it day biters. We used to call it day biters because these dengue mosquitoes, in general, in colloquial, we call it dengue mosquitoes, Idis mosquitoes. They used to bite in the morning and evening hours. It is their nature. Used to bite in the morning and evening hours. Say in the morning 6 to 10, 11, and evening 3 to 6, 7, like that. That's why we call it day biters. And there are some interesting news regarding these mosquitoes also. They prefer to bite dark color people.
Okay.
Dark color people, they, and also one interesting fact is they prefer pregnant women to bite, because they identify where we are sitting, because they feel one odor from our body.
Right.
That's why they recognize human beings are staying here, and they
from the odor of the
yeah,
person.
Yeah, they detect. And then there are some interesting facts regarding these mosquitoes also. Female mosquitoes only bite human beings, not the male mosquitoes.
Okay.
Right. Female mosquitoes also only will bite man. Then someone asked, then what about the male mosquitoes? What they do? They sucks juices from trees, vegetations or plants.
Right.
They take for their meals. So the female mosquito, why female mosquito bite us? It is an interesting question. Why they bite, only the female mosquitoes bite us? Because to make eggs, they have to produce their generation. No?
Yeah.
So they need eggs. So to produce egg, they need one protein which is available in our blood. That is nature, naturally it is created like that. So for that protein they come and bite. So in other words, for the meals they come and bite. Actually they need that protein to produce their generation
or breed their
generation.
So going in further now, how does it contract? Like say for observation of, if you take coronavirus, we know with a close contact I can get the virus, because you did mention that this is a virus, doctor. So how does a person, how can it get contracted? Does that same mosquito need to go and bite another person, or a person carrying the virus can be bitten by another mosquito and then contract it to another person?
Yeah, we need to know about this, because someone think that now I have told that with naked eye we can identify the Idis mosquito. Then someone may find that that particular Idis mosquito bitten him.
Yeah.
Now he may get scared that now he is going to develop dengue. It doesn't mean that all the mosquitoes is carrying, all the mosquitoes are carrying dengue viruses. Or whenever we bitten by a mosquito, it doesn't mean that we are going to develop a dengue. It doesn't mean. It depends on several factors. First, that particular mosquito should carry dengue virus. Then only we will get dengue disease from that bite. Otherwise we won't get. Yeah. If there is no dengue virus inside that mosquito, we won't get. So from where these mosquitoes get the dengue viruses? From an infected person. When already infected person when there, then these mosquitoes go and bite this infected person and will take, when they suck blood, these dengue viruses also will go into the mosquito's system, yeah, body. Then he will carry, it will replicate inside the body, and it will be there. then these mosquito when again go and bite another healthy person, then these dengue viruses will be passed to another person.
So yeah, so I think that very clear, very clear as it tell, because the people have that feeling that it has to be the same mosquito to bite the other person. But now your clarification has given how this can go from. It can even go from area to area, from province to province, to district to district.
Yeah, it is also because dangerous, because that's why when a patient comes to hospital, we used to ask travel history, because when he gets when a patient comes with fever, there are so many diseases which has fever as symptom. So we want to suspect what type of disease he is having. So we need to get the history. So to get some sort of suspicion regarding dengue, so the travel history also important, and also where he is living, that also important. So say when a person say in Colombo, there are many outside people are coming for various purposes, then when they stay here, they can get bitten by these Idis mosquitoes. Unfortunately, if those mosquitoes carry these dengue viruses, then he will get the dengue viruses from these mosquitoes. Then after some time he will go back. Before go back, he may get the dengue disease, or he may go home and get dengue disease after a few days. But there also it is not 100% he will get the disease. According to his body condition,
Immune system,
he may get the dengue disease, or he may be asymptomatic or subclinical.
Yeah.
But still he can pass the dengue viruses to others. He will carry this dengue virus in his body for some time. So during that period, if another mosquito in his hometown, because this Idis mosquito everywhere is, we can see. So another Idis mosquito bites him, he will, that Idis the dengue virus will be passed to that mosquito. Then again that mosquito will produce X generation which will carry dengue virus in his area, in his native place. Now he has taken from Colombo to his native place, then that dengue disease can spread from him to other people if it is not on time detected.
Look, unfortunately, we're coming into the closure of our episode today, but quickly, can you briefly tell what type of symptoms do a person contract at the beginning to identify himself as a dengue patient?
Yeah, surely, because since this is a viral disease, there are some common symptoms for viral diseases. Mainly, he will have fever. Fever means high grade fever. Maybe 1 or 2 days it will be high grade fever. After that, the fever may go down. High grade fever and headache, and significantly retroorbital pain. It means just behind this eye he will feel severe headache. We call it a retroorbital pain, just behind the eyes, retroorbital pain, and severe body pain, as I said earlier, severe body pain and severe joints pain. Sometime these are the common symptoms these patients may develop. Sometimes some patients may develop nausea, vomiting, or sometime even diarrhea. Also sometime they can get they can get rash, maculopapular rash. Even some patients may mimic whether COVID-19 or dengue, because without getting other symptoms, with fever they can develop some respiratory tract symptoms like cough, nasal congestion, throat pain also they can get. Then so when a patient comes with fever and these sort of symptoms, these days it may be difficult to
identify whether
judge whether he is having COVID-19 or dengue. So they have to tell some other history details also. Then the particular doctor will judge what kind of what disease he is having, COVID-19. No, for the clinical symptoms, definitely they will ask some other details also, mainly the contact history and the travel history and the geographical area where he is living. These details are also important to differentiate or to get the clear idea whether he is having COVID-19 or dengue.
Another thing is, I've noticed that sometimes some patients do get red, right? They contract like reddish patches in themselves.
That is what I said, maculopapular rash. Yeah.
So, all right. I think we've come to a very interesting discussion. Unfortunately, time is permitting us to go further on, but we will definitely be keeping you posted on how you can overcome when you get contracted, especially with the dengue virus, how you need to, what are the precautions you need to take, what is the treatment, what are the tests being conducted by the medical officers to control this, on all of that in our next episode of IMED. So thank you very much, Dr. Arif, for joining us on this episode and giving us a very detailed briefing of what dengue is and how it is contracted and how the breeding of the dengue mosquito is all about. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Goswami.
Well, with that, we come to the conclusion of today's episode of IMED. So till we meet again in our next episode of IMED, it's good night.